Have you ever created something that was helpful, full of value, and well edited, and it still got zero attention? But then you created something simple that was about marriage, about sports, about family, and all of a sudden everybody's tagging people on your content. You're getting a bunch of comments, a bunch of likes, and a bunch of shares. Well, that contrast is key because relatability equals shareability. And when you create content that is relatable, it has the power to move to the masses. And after getting hundreds of millions of views, I understand this one thing. People don't just share content because it's good. They share content because it reflects them, somebody they know, or something that they have experienced. Relatable content is what I've built my brand off of. And my brand consists of 3 consistent pillars: relationships, stereotypes, and Raiders football. Through these 3 pillars, I'm able to express myself in ways that connect to other people. And when you create content that connects to people, that prompts them to want to share it with others. We live in a day and age where people communicate through content. I'm willing to bet right now that you have a bunch of people in your DMs that all they do is send you reels. They don't ask you how you're doing. They don't ask you what you're up to, but in the DMs, all you see are reels. And what prompted them to send it to you is because they knew you would relate. Me and my best friend send reels to each other all the time. Sometimes it's sports news. Sometimes it's funny jokes that remind us of our childhood. But we send these videos to each other because that is another form of communication. And pay attention to what you do when you're scrolling. How many times do you hit that share button? You might see something that's motivational or inspirational. You might see a message that you know will help uplift somebody, and you share it. So next time you're scrolling and you see a piece of content that you want to share, I want you to pause before you hit that button and ask yourself, what about this reel is making me want to share it? Because chances are you know exactly who it's for. Who popped in your head? What were you feeling? Did it make you laugh? Did it make you sad? All of these things factor into what you need to do or what you need to think of when you are creating your content. Before you make your content, you should already have in mind that this is something that people are going to want to share with others. Now, you might be making good content and you might be making something that's helpful, but just because it's helpful doesn't mean that it's relatable. I coach a lot of people in the insurance business, and insurance is something that everybody needs. And although the information is helpful, it's a very small amount of people who are sharing insurance content with other individuals. So what we like to coach is to find ways to make insurance relatable. So a lot of our videos that we make with the agency page, it isn't necessarily just about insurance, but we relate it to office culture. The office is a more relatable topic. So that way we can weave in the insurance topics that we want to within the office relatability bracket. So depending on your topic, whatever your industry is, whatever business you're in, it might be boring or it might be something that's fancy. Either way, I really want you to write down 3 things that are relatable about what you do. Once you have those things, write out 10 ideas that have to do with that topic. Now, once you have those ideas, try to weave in your actual profession or what it is that you do into those relatable topics. This is a good exercise and it might require you to really sit down and take some time. But if you're struggling figuring out what's relatable, I simply just want you to go back to your phone, get on your favorite app, and begin to scroll. Your algorithm is going to tell on you. You might not even know this, but your algorithm is built to put more content in front of you that you enjoy. And that's a great place to start because the content that you enjoy to watch will have clues on the content that you can create within your niche or industry. Now, this style of content is usually what we would call top of funnel content, meaning this bracket at the very top. This is the net that you're going to cast out to get a lot of views, a lot of reach, a lot of engagement. Relatable content isn't always the content that's going to convert. But top of funnel content is great for brand awareness. So if you're new to content creation, maybe your personal brand has very little followers and is not getting much engagement, I recommend for you to increase your visibility that you find content to create that is relatable. And always think of this phrase, relatability equals shareability. Shareability isn't even a word, but I'm saying it. This is my phrase, relatability equals shareability. Now that you understand how relatability works and how you can use it, I want to share with you the 3 signals of relatability. The first signal is, that's me. With signal number 1, this is going to initiate more engagement. This is where the comments will start to pick up because people are going to instantly go to the comments to let you know, I feel you, or send some emojis, or dang, that's me. As a big Raider fan, as soon as I see a piece of content of a frustrated Raider fan who really wants the Raiders to win and they create it in a comedic way, I'm instantly in that video. I instantly see myself within that video. I say to myself, oh man, that's me. I can relate. Now, signal number 2 is making someone say, that's someone I know. Whenever I'm scrolling and I see some relationship content and I see something that reminds me of my wife, I instantly hit that share button and send it right to her DM. With signal number 2, you want your content to have the viewer instantly think of somebody to send it to. It could be a coworker, a spouse, a friend, but regardless, you want to initiate the prompt in their mind that I have to send this to somebody right now. And signal number 3 is when you have the viewer say, that's us. So with my stereotype content, I like to create content that speaks to a specific group of people. My race is black, so I like to speak to the stereotypes that black people might understand. So when you create content that speaks to a large group, that increases the chances that it will be shared. Creating content that identifies with a specific group is a great recipe for shares. Because this signal is not just going to have the viewer send this to one person, it increases the odds of them sending it to multiple people. Now, one final thing that I really want to highlight about relatability. Relatability creates connection, and connection builds trust. If you're a business professional and you're kind of scared to teeter that line of relatability, I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't be scared. What helps business professionals online is trust. You want to increase the trust between you and the viewer. And think of relatable content as just breaking the ice. I've come across people who have seen my content that I have never met before. And they tell me, I love your videos, man. I relate. And because of that, the conversation is much easier. I'm warm now because somebody is saying something about my content, but also the piece of content is a conversation starter. So if somebody said, oh, I saw your Raider video, man, I loved it. I could say, oh, thanks, man. Are you a Raider fan too? And the conversation starts. Another thing is a Raiders fan can say, oh man, you are a Raiders fan. You know exactly what it feels like to be in our position. It's depressing, but I know you know how I feel. That, ladies and gentlemen, is trust in the making. So don't be scared to make relatable content. Relatable content can really help you, your personal brand, and your business. If today helped you, then I want you to create your next relatable piece of content and tag me in it so I can see what you came up with. If you would like examples of some relatable content, then follow me on my social media platforms. And also, before you leave, make sure you hit that like button, comment below if this video was valuable for you, and also subscribe to this channel for more content like this. I really appreciate you spending time with me today, and I'll see you on the next one.